one of my old bosses that I was deployed to Afghanistan with. He was one of my officers when I was enlisted in 2010 on our deployment to Afghanistan. He's getting out of the military right now. He just came into the Land Sharks program, and in 23 days, he did a land deal in Alabama, no knowledge whatsoever in real estate, and netted him $9,000 net profit.
You're listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, where you get valuable information you just can't find anywhere else. To thrive in today's trying times, you need the Financial Survival Network, now more than ever. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and get your free newsletter and gift. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.
And welcome. This is Financial Survival Network. I'm your host, Kerry Lutz. And well, hey, real estate still hot in a number of states. You know, the question is, are you buying rehabs? Are you buying raw land? Or you just looking for value adds? All these things, more. Brent Bowers is with us now, and you find him at thelandsharks.com. If you got a question for Brent or myself, love to hear from you. Shoot me an email, kl@kerrylutz.com. Brent, talked to you like a year and a half ago when we last spoke. You were on a tear, buying up land left and right. What's been happening in the past year and a half?
Yeah, same thing, Kerry. Good to see your face again. Love the background change. We're still buying and selling land. We're just improving the process. There's always things that could be improved in business. Going after bigger parcels, more expensive parcels, still building the passive income. You know, I generally want to seller finance most of this land because I'd rather get paid on something for 30 years rather than one day. But yeah, that's kind of what we're up to over here.
All right. Hey, so describe an average purchase that you do.
Yeah, I'll talk about one I just did. We just purchased 6 lots in Florida. In a booming town just north of Orlando, Florida. Listed them with my real estate agent, bought them for $132,000, and we should have been able to get roughly $55,000 a piece for them. So we bought them at the right price and got a lower offer, but it was within a couple of days. So we're sitting at $35,000 a lot. So we're bought them for $132,000, selling them for $210,000 within about a month. So that's a land deal we just did. I'm purchasing another one in Utah right now for $335,000. And that's all with private money lender. And I should sell that one in about 30 to 45 days for $550,000. I'm not putting it at the top of the market. I want to be the cheapest guy out there and offer seller financing. I want mine to be no brainers. When someone's looking at the MLS or what's listed, I want them to choose my parcel of land because money loves speed.
Yeah, sure. Hey, so you mentioned that you are basically buying them and then you're doing seller financing for the land, for the lots?
Yeah, preferably. Yeah, I'd love to get it, for instance, this Utah one, a big enough down payment, a little over half down, and I'll finance the rest, for up to 30 years or interest only loan, whatever they prefer, whatever they need. A lot of times, these buyers just need enough time to secure their financing or build a road or, get their utilities put in so they can get bank financing. So I'll go as little or as long as possible on the seller financing because I want passive income. That's what I call lifestyle freedom.
Gotcha. All right. So, hey, with everything going on in the market and interest rates going higher and all that, has that affected your business any?
Yeah, absolutely. If anything, it's creating more opportunity because as interest rates go up, people don't bat an eye when I say 12% interest for a piece of vacant raw land. So it's actually helped us on the sell side. But on the other hand, the buy side, I'm having to pay my private lenders a little bit more, which is fine. I've got a private lender that has a home equity line of credit. She's paying roughly, prime 8.5% or whatever it was a couple weeks ago. So I'm actually paying her 12.5%. So she still has some room to make cash. So I'm actually, it's hurt me in one way, helped me in another.
Mm-hmm. I gotcha. So, hey, where do you think the biggest opportunities are now for land purchases?
Yeah. So a couple places we were talking about it before you hit the record button. I'm seeing it in Florida. But what about the people that are getting priced out of Florida? Then they go to Tennessee. What about the people getting priced out of Tennessee and Florida? Then they go to Alabama. So places like Alabama, I'm seeing screaming land deals. I just brought in one of my old bosses that I was deployed to Afghanistan with. He was one of my officers when I was enlisted in 2010 on our deployment to Afghanistan. He's getting out of the military right now. He just came into the Land Sharks program, and in 23 days, he did a land deal in Alabama, no knowledge whatsoever in real estate, and netted him $9,000 net profit.
No kidding.
So there's amazing opportunity out there. So you don't have to go out and do the big deals. He didn't even buy the land. He got it under contract at a discount. So the seller signed a purchase agreement with him, and he ended up selling that purchase agreement to a builder that was building in the area and netted $9,000. So it's like, you don't need cash to do this business.
Okay.
This could be a side hustle.
So how are we finding these deals now?
I love that you asked that, Kerry. So what I do to find these land deals, it's not complicated. I'm a very simple guy. There's a reason why I was in the Army. The Air Force wouldn't allow me in.
Thanks for your service, by the way. We appreciate it.
God bless you, man. And I want to shout out to the military spouses out there. Thank them for their service, because that's even harder than to sit at home and wait.
Sacrifices that they make, And
the children, like my son's 7 years old, he's moved 9 times. Well, let's just say 8 times, almost 9. But how I'm finding this land, I love going on the free resources. So you don't have to be a real estate agent to do this. So I'm using Zillow and Redfin. And here's how I find it. I go to areas like my own backyard, let's say Orlando, Florida. And I plug in solds. I want to see the solds because that's telling me what's selling, tell me where parcels are trading. And then I go to filter it, and I want to see land only. And I want to see what's going on in like the last 30 days. Once I do that, I'm going back to that map on Zillow or Redfin, and I'm looking for the clusters of solds, like the little neighborhoods. Like I'll go as micro down to a neighborhood. I want to be as micro as possible, and I'll chunk this down because, that old saying, how do you eat an elephant? Like one little bite at a time, start with the tail.
Yeah.
So we find the cluster, then we click on the clusters that are selling. And if it's too overwhelming, then just go to 7 days, because some areas are a little overwhelming. But will I buy land that 3 or 4 parcels have sold in the last 3 months? Yes, because that shows me there's demand in that area, but it's a little slower. It's a little slower turn. Days on market's a little longer. It's not trading as fast as like Florida, Orlando. But once I find that area, I'm going to click on it. I want to see what the land's selling for. How big is it? And here's the most important key. Who is it listed by? Who is it bought by? Because that's your land specialist real estate agents. That's your boots on ground. That's who's smarter in that area and walks that area and knows that area. So once you know that, I then take basically a screenshot of that map, or if you have a side-by-side screen comparison, and you could do this without an extra screen. I'll then go to PropStream and I'll pull a list of that exact area, and I'll mail every landowner in that area what I call my LOL, my land offer letter. I might have shared a little bit about this on the last episode.
Could you just elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah. So I'm sending, in a nutshell, these landowners a purchase agreement at a discounted price that includes my profit. If they sign it and accept it and they send it back to my email or my e-fax, or sometimes they'll text it back to me or they'll mail it back to us. If they accept it, I've got a land deal that's got some profit, it's got some meat on the bone. And then I'll do my further due diligence. And sometimes I'm incorrect on my pricing if I'm doing this too fast, and I'll have to renegotiate. But once they sign that LOL, now I have something to work with. And I'll give it to the Financial Survival Network. I am triple split testing this LOL, and it's working better than postcards. It's working better than texting and cold calling. If anybody wants a copy of that, they can go to thelandsharks.com/LOL.
Okay. So what about when you go to list it? Like, I thought like a lot of realtors don't like to get into land because not as big a commission. That's generally lower prices, right?
Yeah, you're right. And there's a reason why I'm only talking to the realtors that are listing and selling this land. So I'm looking at the listed by, that's the listing agent, and the bought by. So I'm not going after like my Uncle Bob that does a house every 5 years. Because here's the thing, this is not backed by data, but But, 8 out of 10 realtors aren't really doing anything in real estate, or they might sell a house 1 or 2 a year. I don't want that realtor. I want the realtor that's selling 30 parcels of land in a month.
How do you find that guy?
You go on Zillow, you find the land that's selling, and you click on each parcel of land, and you scroll down and see who it's listed by and who it was bought by. So the listing agent is listed by, the bought by is the buyer's agent. So I'm going to click on every single one of those, and I'm going to copy and paste the listed by and the bought by, and I'm going to paste them. I'm going to copy it from Zillow or Redfin, and I'm going to paste it in a Word document. And then I'm going to go through that document, and I'm going to see, okay, Bob Jones, Kerry Lee. Okay, those are the top ones selling in that area. I'm going to call them first. And I'm just going to go down the line. Whoever answers the call, whoever's willing to get me data, whoever's willing to get in their car and drive to that land, that's more than likely going to be my worker bee. And I don't, like, for a long time, like, I think the last time we talked, I had a couple virtual assistants posting this land all day long for me on all the land websites and Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. And those things work, but it takes a lot of work to sell this land. I no longer want to go out there and create demand. I just want to fill the demand. I want to be an order taker. And I also want to have people work with me that if they don't go out and hunt and kill, they don't eat. So I was paying these people on salary.
Eat what you kill. Yeah,
exactly. Now I don't need those 3 people anymore. So I had 2 virtual assistants and 1 full-time person answering calls and making calls all day long to see if they wanted to buy our land. We got rid of that. Now we just work with real estate agents.
Okay. So, hey, somebody wants to do this. I assume you're teaching people how to do this, right?
Oh yeah. I love teaching people how to do this. Just like my old boss, that gives me so much satisfaction. And I'm doing deals with them. In my community, we've got buyers in the community. We got guys that will do joint ventures. We got lenders. Heck, I might even buy the land deal.
Okay. So, hey, so what's it take? How much money you need to get started in this?
Well, you got to have a budget. You can do this with as minimum as $50 a week. And if you really want to get serious and build a real business, then, you could spend anywhere from $300 to $500 a week on your marketing. It depends how fast, how much time you have. There's a lot of parameters in that. When I first got started in 2016, and I think I might have shared this, I was buying parcels of land for like $200 and selling them for $5,000. I had no money. I was using American Express money.
They're talking the good old days here.
Well, it happens. We just picked up a parcel the other day for like $1,000, sold it for $10,000. I don't do as many of those anymore, and we're really not going after those. And it was a non-buildable parcel of land. A couple weeks ago, one of my students picked up a landlocked parcel. He made some profit on it. Those were still out there.
Who wants a landlocked piece of property, though?
Who owns next to that landlocked piece of property?
Yeah, that's it. They don't want a house going there, right?
The neighbors always want more land. I was talking to a guy on the Chesapeake Bay the other day. He's like, I would kill for that 1 acre next door to me. He's like, no one's going to be able to build. If they do, they're going to spend $2 million. But if they do build, they wreck my view. So that guy is willing to pay whatever it takes to get that parcel of land, but has no clue how to get in touch with those owners. And that's where I come to play.
That's cool. Yeah, well, I know. I've heard of a lot of people that just want to basically block anyone from building on the property again, right?
Yeah, this has been around since the beginning of time. Before, at one time, they thought that you didn't have to fence the land. Now, there's fences all over Florida. These landowners, you know what they want more of? More land. So it's been around since the beginning of time because it's the oldest real estate investing strategy is land. And the crazy thing is everyone's going after this dirty old stinky cat pee houses and fighting over these things.
Cat lady refuges, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I've been on that end. I used to go and sit on these dirty couches and have to throw away my shoes before I'd get in my, beat up Honda Civic. But it's hard to talk someone into selling their house at a discount when they raised their family there for 18 or 20 years and they've never replaced the carpet or painted the house because they've been told their entire life their house is their biggest investment. And what do investments do? They increase. But land, you mentioned it, the don't wanters, the people that inherited it, or they bought it 20 years ago because they were going to build the second home or their vacation home and life happened for them. And now they're paying for grandchildren's colleges and they're like, man, I could sell this today and get what? I know it's lower than what I want to take, but I know it's worth more, but heck, why not?
Bird in the hand, right? Bird in the hand.
I love that. A bird in the hand. Say the whole sentence because I know a bird in the hand is more valuable than two in the bush. I love it. There you go.
Yeah. So go for your guaranteed deal. So we already talked about your budget and where you find these properties and how you sell them. I know some people were selling land on eBay. You ever done that?
I did back in 2016. It was a cheaper parcel. And let me tell you, I did one, and you know the problem with winning, you think you're going to keep winning. And I did a few more, and I kept paying that eBay fee. And then I realized it's like, I'm spending a lot of money when I can just post this stuff for free on Craigslist and Facebook buys stuff. My father, he just turned 61 years old. He's done 50 land deals.
Really?
He's found all of his buyers on Facebook Marketplace and Facebook buy sell groups.
Huh. That's amazing. I mean, I've heard about this for years, obviously. So if I'm going to go looking, do I look in Alabama or do I look in Tennessee? Where do I look?
Yeah, I mean, I love Alabama right now, but I recommend anybody getting started that has like virtually no experience in real estate, then, kind of look in your own backyard. Start with your own backyard because it's way easier. I mean, and when I say your own backyard, I mean like a 3-hour radius. It's way easier to jump in your car on a Saturday morning than have to get on a plane and go meet a seller or meet a buyer. Now, am I meeting these sellers and buyers? No. But I've been doing this since early 2016. I've built up that track record, the confidence, the ways to find this. So yeah, I say start in your own backyard. Now, I've got Canadians buying.
Yeah, Canadians, definitely. So Florida, what are your favorite counties in Florida?
Oh man, some of my favorite counties. You really want my secrets, don't you? So
I want to get the benefit of your course without having to pay for it,
Of course, let's get someone a land deal today. I'm in Osceola County. I'm in Brevard County. I'm in Volusia County. I'm trying to think of some other counties. I've done 2 in Volusia County in the last couple of weeks.
Osceola and Volusia. That's someplace up north. I don't even know where that is.
Yeah, the problem with down south, I do very minimal deals down South Florida because it's a lot more dense. And can I do deals? Yeah, there's a lot more competition. Builders, people are now tearing down houses to build on because there's less land. But here's the thing. You can still get deals down there. You just have to be willing to mail more. And what do I mean by more? Like where my average is about 11 to 1,200 letters, land offer letters, LOLs, laugh out loud, to one land deal that's going to net us at least $10,000 before I sell it for seller financing on interest. But down south, I'm probably going to be, I'm like looking at my numbers from last year, I was closer to 3,500.
Really?
Huh. So, and it's just, you really don't know. And I could be wrong. I could have went one county over and had better results. You really don't know until you start getting these letters out to landowners. That's the best way. Because like people ask me all the time, well, how quick will I get a deal? Well, some people get one in 2 weeks. Some people get one in 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. So Osceola is like right around Orlando there, right?
Yeah. Yes.
No. So
Orange County is another one. Orange County,
Florida. Yeah. So
yes.
that's Disney over there, right?
That's around Disney.
Yeah. Cool. So any states you see like trending upward that the crowd hasn't figured out yet?
Yeah, I already mentioned it. Alabama. I think, because here's the thing.
Sweet home Alabama.
Sweet home Alabama. And I'm like begging my wife to let's build a cabin in Alabama. She's like, no. But a lot of people are getting priced out of Florida. A lot of people are getting priced out of the Carolinas. A lot of people are getting priced. I mean, what's one cheap state we used to go to? Georgia and Tennessee.
Georgia, right.
No longer.
Carolina.
Yeah. Imagine if you knew Hollywood was going to Georgia 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And you started buying all the land around it. You do the same thing in Texas. Texas is another crazy hot state. And here's why I love Texas. One, because I've got a lot of land sharks. I mean, land sharks doing a lot better in land than myself. And that takes that was hard for me to say that. There's a lot of people doing way better in land than I am. And most of them are in Texas. A lot of them are my land shark students. But I mean, Austin, imagine if you knew Tesla was coming into Austin 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Travis County, places like that. Like I've seen guys making $1 billion in that one county.
God, yeah. Hey, So people are definitely going to want to find out more, Brent. They're going to want to connect with you. Best place is the website.
Yeah, go to thelandsharks.com. I want to do something a little differently. I hopefully no other guest has done this. You can text me. You can call my cell phone number, 863-801-6959. I've got more land deals right now than I do money. So I'm always looking for more private lenders. I don't touch the money. If you want to send it to the title company, get a title insurance policy on a lender's insurance policy, and I'm buying at less than 60 cents on the dollar. So,
nice.
Not everyone wants to start a land business.
Hey, quick question. What's your feel about Indian River County, Florida?
I live in Indian River County, Florida. I love it.
Yeah. So good place. Vero Beach around there.
Just bought a piece of land over email. Obviously with my land offer letter. I never spoke to the seller. Bought it for $15,337. The title company just sent me the closing paperwork. It's a base hit is what I call it. We're going to make a little over $11,000 after the realtors paid. I got 15. No, that's a lie. I've got 35 minutes involved in this land deal.
All right. That's very cool. Hey, if you got a question for Brent, myself, the email address, kl@kerrylutz.com, will get you an answer quick. And make sure you go over to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Look at the show notes of this interview. The link to Brent's site will be there. While you're there, sign up for your free newsletter. Brent, a pleasure. Appreciate you coming back on.
God bless, Kerry.
Thanks for listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, your solution to today's trying times. For the latest, go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.